on the delivery of Welborne, and I'm going to ask Richard Jolly to make a statement.
Thank you, Chairman. So I'd this evening like to draw the Standing Conference's attention to the fact that recently a special meeting of the Council's Executive has been set up for Monday the 22nd of February, 6 o'clock meeting, to consider the options available to the Council more than a decade. In terms of the progression of the Welborne project, as it were, through plans, just a quick recap. It was first identified in the now revoked South East Plan during the sort of period 2006 to 2009. The site was then identified as a new community in the Council's core strategy, which was adopted in 2011. So the principle was considered as examination and established through that plan. The Council then expended a lot of effort and resource indeed to progress a very detailed plan for Welborne, which was formally adopted in June 2015 after examination, with a view to setting a very clear planning policy framework for the site and against which planning applications can be judged. And obviously you've heard more this evening about the supplementary document on the design side of things. Turning to the content of the report, which will be put in front of the Council's Executive on the 22nd of February, it's being recommended to the Executive that they consider two key actions. The first action is that they consider that the Council consider the compulsory purchase of land allocated for Welborne, and secondly, that the Council consider seeking a development partner to assist with the delivery of Welborne. Now, there are four key factors which have led to these very significant recommendations being put in front of elected members on the 22nd of February for decision. And I'd just like to run through each of those in turn. Firstly, is the issue of certainty. Whilst the Council is aware that all the landowners and site promoters are committed to the development of Welborne, to date no planning applications have been put forward for consideration. This raises a question mark over the key delivery dates for housing as outlined in our Welborne plan and agreed by the planning inspector. By taking the steps of being willing to consider the use of compulsory purchase and seeking a development partner, if that's what the Council chooses to do, you could potentially reinstate certainty around delivery of housing and the supporting infrastructure. The second factor, which really has led to these recommendations being put forward, relates to housing. Welborne plays a significant role in delivering houses to meet Fairham's future housing requirements, including 2,000 affordable homes, which reduces the need to use additional greenfield sites for housing and will therefore help us protect our strategic gaps in the countryside. The third factor relates to the creation of jobs and employment. Once Welborne gets underway, obviously it will be a boost to employment in the area, initially through all the construction work and then in the longer term through the provision of business space. And finally, infrastructure, unsurprisingly. Eventually everyone in Fareham will benefit from the planned improvement to Junction 10 of the M27 into a North Mews junction through the appropriate upgrading works. And obviously there's plenty of other infrastructure necessary to support the development. I'd also just briefly like to touch on one of the other recommendations being put in front of the Executive later in the month, which relates to the possible purchase of a number of residential properties in